we're bringing you guys now the final set of the day. We're watching Kiljardi up against Elyona. We don't have a lot of time because the game is already just about to begin here. We're jumping in straight away into board lane with Byzantines up against Shushi's Legacy for Elyona. And to be fair, when you pick both China and Shushi, at least one of them is gonna make their way through.
Do you think Elyona wanted to play China today? Do you think he wanted a Chinese civ? I got a feeling that might have been part of his plan.
Might have been. And we're jumping straight in. Maybe we even go a little bit faster as I think the game is not that live at the. There we go.
Turbo mode.
There's probably not a full thing going on in the early stages of the game here. Yellow playing as the Shushi's in both land. His opponent in color red, Kiljardi, as the Byzantine.
I love the new water animations on the cisterns, by the way. Although I don't think it should be moving quite so much. Like, do you see the water animation on the cistern? How it's like bobbing back and forth. Still nice to know what we used to have, though.
It is quite serene.
It is nice though. I'm glad that they. We play this game and we talk about strategy, and every now and then I'm just wowed by just the way it looks and just the details and the sound design. I feel like it's always worth giving the devs their flowers for that. At least they made a nice looking game.
Yeah. All right. At the moment, scouting going on. I believe this is now also a version where most of the sheep do spawn next to your TC, unless I'm a little bit mistaken. I mean, players already have a good amount of sheep inside of their bases.
17-17 split. Yeah, 17-17 split. Negligible
pretty
there.
Even. Yeah.
Big question is the deer here, because this is a prime map for pro scouts. Zushi is probably going to want to do that, I believe.
Yeah, that's just typical to play here. And Meditation Garden coming in for Elyona now. What is that spot looking like? Oh, it is the large berry patch, actually, and 2 gold veins. So that's almost like 100 Yeah, that's 100 resources worth right there. You're getting like 3 wood per minute, 48 food, and then 50 gold. So roughly 100 resource per minute. So almost 3 villagers worth of resources that he's getting there. Pretty good value for Meditation Garden. Definitely not going to be complaining about that one.
No surprise at the Grand Winery, of course.
Of course.
I like the 2 cisterns and where they're at. I like that. I was playing against a Byzantine player last night, and I was casting a game. That's what it was. Just a random game on the ladder. It was not very high level. It was like mid-plat level. And the cisterns drove me up a wall. The cistern placement was just horrible, and I was like, what is going on? You never have to really worry about that with these players too much. Waiting for that Crow Scouts to click in here in just a second, as we're still in 2 times speed. And it's kind of hard to tell in the minimap now that we got the scouts.
Yeah, we got a lot of lines now in the minimap. Yeah,
we can clear that up. I want to see the deer now is what I want to look at.
You don't get to look at the deer. It's just okay. There we go. The lines have been
there we go
disabled.
It's really cool for like 3 minutes, and then after a while, it gets to be too much. This map is just so good for pro scouts. The amount of deer.
Look at that. Yeah,
Kiljardi. Royal Knights. Fun.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of a good use here, too, early on. I feel like you'd get some pretty good value.
You get a discount on the Royal Knights, but I think also something that just people underestimate a lot of times is once you go for the age up with the Golden Horn Tower, your Golden Horn Tower also periodically does produce units from the mercenary camp that you have on the neutral mercenaries there as well.
Oh,
so you
do now actually.
That. Yeah, once you get to Castle Age, he will every now and then actually produce knights. So that's pretty good. Like getting 3 knights in, it's very valuable.
It's kind of feel really weird when against Byzantines and seeing these things of all things. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
Nice denial there on that. He's got some Limited to boot, so he really could deny most of the pro scouts with this.
And he, of course, still has the option to go for longbows behind this.
Huh? That actually gives him a really good tri-comp, you know, if he does that.
Yeah. Imagine, like, longbows, French knights. That's a very interesting composition to have.
They've joined forces. It's like an affront against nature. Like Taco Bell or indoor plumbing.
Wait, what? Indoor plumbing?
It affronts against nature. It's not the way man was meant to live.
Okay.
I'm joking, of course.
Not gonna say no to some indoor plumbing.
Indoor
Scout's getting
great.
intercepted here with the deer. So good value gained. Elyona already has a good amount of deer inside of his base, so good food income. And age up has already been reached by him, so now we are getting those Castle Age Knights in kiljardi. He is still ways off from the age up, and suddenly the lines have been activated again. And we've got like something akin of a Dota map being drawn on the minimap. There we go, it's turned off again. A little bit of idle time cost on the gold, but yeah, this is looking a little bit rough here at the moment for kiljardi when it comes to trying to deny the gold or just even trying to follow up to the castle. There's just so many spearmen out as well that the Lamitani mass doesn't seem too impressive.
Yeah, he really could use some longbows for this fight here. Knight's trying to get in there. He wants to make sure that he keeps those alive. He's doubled up on his knight production, but I think the longbows would go a long way here.
Ooh, Knights getting a couple of hits in on from the Lamitani. Some do go down, but this is not a fight that kiljardi really wants to continue. He wants it to stall out just a little bit. He wants it to keep going, but he doesn't want to really fight it. He just wants to keep Elyona from going into his base behind all of this. Because he is trying his best to go for the age up as well.
And the longer he kind of kites and fights and delays, the better it'll be for him here. And one thing that's tricky with these French knights is they don't get chivalry as Byzantines, so you got to be careful. When you lose them, you lose them. They can't heal back up. That said, there's still a force to be reckoned with as he cleans up the military from Elyona here. Excellent micro, excellent fight, and now he's bought himself all the time in the world to go up to Castle Age.
Yeah, I feel like with the army composition that kiljardi went for, might have probably just been a better call instead to go for the veterancy on the spearmen and just continue pumping out those spearmen. But now kiljardi has bought himself enough time to go for that Golden Horn Tower, and that is exactly what's going to be coming in. Can we actually quickly check up on his mercenary camp next to the neutral outpost? Does he doesn't even have a contract yet, so there's only one chance of unit to be produced, and that is Knights, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of brilliant in a fun way. Like, I love when players do this, because strats like this that are effective that just aren't thought of or used very often always just kind of tickle me a little bit. I think they're so fun. I mean, who expects French knights going against Byzantines? Elyona might after this
Inquisition
game.
would expect that, yeah. Still bringing in those deer behind this. Bought himself a little opportunity there to go for them. Now also getting some monks out onto the map. Wants to pick up those relics, of course. Does have the option to eventually go for a Yuan dynasty. Oh my god, the Golden Horn Tower, it's not going up. Not going up in time, at least.
Where's the military?
There's so much idle time in the base.
Knight's coming in finally, but a great little stab from Elyona. Almost like a Doolittle's raid kind of vibe right here. We're just running through the base, doing some damage, and flying right out.
Big idle
But
time, yeah.
excellent time. Great timing to do it, right, as they're aging up. I mean, a quarter of the way from being done and up into Castle Age. That extra time can really matter.
It's going to buy him a lot of time when it comes to picking up those relics, for sure. The age up will be coming in now, and the first unit, who would have thought, from the Golden Horn Tower is going to be those knights. So there's going to be 4 knights joining the fray soon. Chivalry is not in on those knights though, so the weak knights over here are not going to get healed up, and kiljardi doesn't have the ability to research that, at least not until he hits Imperial Age. Foreign Engineering Company does unlock all unique upgrades.
Crossbows in the queue now for kiljardi.
So it's just mainly going for an infantry-based army composition. Already has his first monk out now as well, which he can make from the Grand Winery. One relic already brought back for Elyona. Ooh, fight getting taken. Currency in queue for the Lamitani and the Spearman. Relic being picked up.
They get to it. The Wololo. That was well timed. Buying himself a bit.
Yeah, there's no reinforcements moving toward this though. So kiljardi can actually go for the dive onto the monk. It is going to do so. Elyona is contesting it.
There we go. Needs to get that monk. He had a monk nearby. He needs to get him back over and grab that while he has it. Meanwhile, more deer coming in from the scouts.
More night raids as well.
That's the tricky thing on this map, is that the back half of the map is actually really open on either side. So raiding is just super easy here, even more so than Dry Arabia would be.
Yeah, but kiljardi hasn't gone out to the resource over there, or maybe he did and just pulled the villagers back. He's gonna pull them back forward now, but kiljardi sees and he's like, okay, I'll just wait. I'll wait. You'll leave eventually. I'll get my chance.
We've got our first, looks like it was the Western contract. We do have some Landsknecht coming out of the Golden Horde, or of the Golden Horde producing it? Or
Yeah,
is
will
it
be the Golden Horn, most likely.
With the Golden Horn.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, it's Golden Horn.
Very cosmopolitan army from the Byzantines here today.
Elyona still in Tang Dynasty. So right now he's still just continuously massing up those knights, those lancers. Kiljardi behind this, even got a couple of cavalry archers in. From the Rus, imported, of course.
He's got
Team of cavalry archers.
Huh? He's got a little bit of everything. I mean, he's just united all of Europe under the Byzantine banner. He's got Rus, he's got the German Landsknecht, he's got the French knights. He just needs some longbows and he'll have the full
he's gonna get
entirety of all of Europe.
Attack
Call
speed
it the
upgrade.
NATO alliance. I guess maybe not the Rus, but
Attack speed upgrade has been researched now for the cavalry of Elyona as well. Longbows now in queue for him. For Kiljardi, that is. And there is a small raiding force coming around. Gets spotted by Elyona though. Villagers from Berries are gonna evacuate in time.
well, level 5 Cistern too for Byzantine, so he is cruising economically behind this. In fact, he's actually outpacing the food income of Elyona right now. In fact, I'm curious how much deer he
the
has
deer are
left
running
back
out,
there.
or have run out now at this point. Elyona, this is kind of typically the point where you want to go for Yuan Dynasty and get the pagodas in, but he doesn't have enough relics, and actually Kiljardi losing a lot of his knights here. Knights do go down.
He just kind of threw them away without doing anything. They just kind of ran into him and then didn't take a swing at all. Have a big loss. So those knights were pretty weak though, to be fair.
Now the army is just swarming from Kiljardi. It's mass spearmen though at the moment against mostly just crossbows. Crossbows don't directly counter the spearmen. This might be a chance, but there are still Landsknecht in there. One goes down. 3 still alive though.
Landsknecht hiding in there, doing some good damage against the spears. Crossbows, they can counter out the Lancers really well. This could be a pretty good fight, but there's a lot left here from Elyona. Crossbows trying, but the front line's dwindling. I think he did just enough.
Is falling back. Where are the knights at the moment? Looks like they're all in back. Still try to chase after the French Royal Knights. Lost a lot now on the retreat as well. Villager's still idle underneath the mill there. He might not get the... Yeah, there's no notification yet that they're idle. Well, Elyona.
I hate how that happens. Udiko is... Kiljardi's not getting any food right now at all, though.
Yeah, none at all.
None. He's got 22 food. He's got like a couple like rusty old chicken nuggets and an extra French fry in the bag, and that's about it. He's got nothing. Moving on to something. The berries are just all but gone.
He's just
got
trying
one
to go
last
for the
pack
kill.
in the corner. Does he have enough momentum is the question. He's only got 34 units, and I guess he does.
It's enough
Elyona
momentum,
throws in the towel. So I guess the chicken nuggets and the bonus fry are all he needs as far as food goes. Takes the game.
GG coming on in. First game here, a victory for Kiljardi with the Byzantines up against the Shushi's legacy. Military value definitely on the side of Elyona there, yeah. I mean, he was just about to run out.
Just about to run out of steam, and then your opponent throws in the towel. And you know, as an opponent, you don't know that your opponent's like starving behind this and throwing the last bit of what they have in front of you. But because if Elyona lives for another minute or two and can get his food situated, Kiljardi was gonna have to take some time to reload. But the cisterns at level 5 and the olive oil, and then just the units and the merc houses, giving him just enough to get over the hump and get there. Good game. Good game.
GG indeed. And yeah, Means that kiljardi able to set himself up with the first victory now in this best of 5, but there are still more games that are going to be coming up next, of course. So we're going to be taking a look at the draft and see just what exactly these players are going to be cooking up for the next match here between them. And it is going to be King of the Hill. And once again, we're going to be seeing China, or rather a representation of China, coming up against Sengoku, though. And Sengoku so far in this tournament, they've been making a pretty good impression.
Sengoku is one of the, I think, one of the better newer civs we've had in a while. I think they really hold their own. I think they're a slightly better version of Japanese. I really do think they just have a bit more going for them. But China's pretty dangerous, and especially on King of the Hill is such a... every time I convince myself I like King of the Hill again, I play it, and then someone does some kind of cheesy strat to me, and I hate it again. What's your opinion of King of the Hill, Crack? I haven't heard your opinion on this in a while.
I think King of the Hill is a pretty cool map, just from theme-wise as well. Like, it is forcing... Like, civilizations that can play defensively, they can play defensively in an aggressive manner, if that makes sense. But
aggressively defensive.
Aggressively defensive, yeah. They put the timer on you, right? But at the same time, if you go for the middle, you kind of leave the rest of your base potentially vulnerable. And many times players kind of forget, okay, yeah, my opponent's hunkering down the middle. Maybe I should raid the sides. Maybe I should go for like the main base. That's kind of something that players forget often. But it's a really cool map dynamically, and it's one that I feel like really, really represents the RTS genre just very well. Like having that like big hill to die on or to defend, and the goal there, I really like that kind of like fantasy.
It's thematically a fun map. Yeah, it definitely like the name. I think the name and the structure of this map are the perfect marriage of like theme. Like King of the Hill is exactly what you would picture it to be. I think it's a little memey sometimes. I think it can be kind of gimmicky, but at the same time, that's kind of the point. So
yeah,
I flip-flop and vacillate all the time on whether I like it or not, because I do really like the theme of it. I think it's really fun. I've had some of my best games on King of the Hill. I've had some of my absolutely worst games on King of the Hill. I think it's just kind of the nature of the map. It is a fun one, though, to watch.
Yeah, when it comes to cheesy civilizations, though, I want to say, like, most cheese can be kind of counted out by just having at least a couple of units in feudal age. That way, it's not like somebody can just naked fast castle with a castle landmark on the middle of the hill or something like that.
Yeah. That's kind of the case of most cheese, right? Most super over aggressive. As long as you just make some units and just don't get too greedy, most cheese doesn't work too well.
Exactly.
A fun map. A fun matchup too. Chinese. We've seen a lot of Chinese. You know, it's been really weird to me to see China leak through early in these qualifiers.
They haven't been making the greatest impression so far, though.
It really hasn't, but it's so interesting how it was just always an auto ban, like a tournament and a half ago, right? Like it just automatically, you expected it to be one of the top 2 banned every time, and it still is banned frequently. But yeah, the times we've seen it played out, it hasn't exactly wowed me too much. Like it's not bad, it's still a good civ. It just hasn't been the overall dominant civ like we've expected it to be. At least not so far.
Most certainly hasn't. Yeah. I think the main reason for that is that we've gotten a lot of new civilizations in that just get a better version of the knight in. So that kind of like very much diminishes the returns that you can get as China from Pro Scout into Mass Lancers. That was like one of the main China Shushi strategies that they did have. Shushi, more so than China, struggles with the transition after going for the Lancers. China at least has like still Song Dynasty, like great Song Dynasty going for them with additional villagers and additional scaling. That way they get better economy baseline with the Imperial Academy. But it's still like Chinese civilizations, they struggle when they have to make the farms. That has always been the case, where
that transition
9 out of 10 times when China or Shushi loses, they die in the farm transition.
Yeah, there's definitely that negative window. If they ever get it up, it's one of those funny things though, if they get the transition up, they're like almost unbeatable, but it's such a rock wall to climb to get those farms and granaries going. I mean, there's just a lot that has to go into it. The timing has to be really well chosen, and that's hard to gauge even for the top players. We'll see how this fans out. Who will be the king of the hill? This is obviously not game point either way, so we have at least one more game after this. Will this be our first series to go a full distance, a best of 5 is to be seen, but we'll dive right on in.
All Right, here we go. Game number 2 now between Elyona and kiljardi. Yeah, sheep getting picked up early here, but this is EGC Hill and Dale, so most of sheep actually do spawn right next to the TC. We do see a fine line of sheep in the middle there between both players, so fairly split up evenly on the map. You will get a decent amount of sheep right in your base, but there are still some additional sheep to be had out on the map. You actually scout for them.
If you're China here, do you go pro scouts, or do you play a little more aggressive and try and make sure you claim the top of the hill?
I think you could go for middle of the map. The question is, when do you go for it?
Yeah, that's
I think
the question.
Maybe
that's
you first want a pro scout, like get the pro scout in first just to get the deer in time. Because you also do take them away from your opponent, of course, right? Like that's one of the main benefits that you kind of get.
That actually would be pretty big too, because you want those food carts to not have a lot of options.
And they can only put the food carts on the boars and the berries. And if you're actually like committing to pro scout, you probably will make some spearmen and horsemen as well, maybe some archers as well. You can deny that play with the Artais. So that's obviously a great thing for China, and we've seen it time and time again, even behind all of that aggression, that China will get a very, very impressive age-up timing in even after that, even after all of that unit production, even after all of that aggression. They really do have just some incredible follow-up timings there.
I really love our scout tracker now. Just looking at the mirror version of these scouts, both doing the same exact thing, kind of going up, looping up and around. Gentleman's agreement to go the same pathway there. Looks like Elyona might have beaten out kiljardi by just a little bit. Has a couple extra. Shouldn't be enough to affect the game too much. That's a good spot for a food cart. Yeah. Should be getting a full 60 of the berries in the deer. That's almost a value mine right there too. Just go grab some stone. Oh, I probably wouldn't bother building another production building. Like a tile, but I
can still fit a house in between that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just need a quick like 50 stone for an outpost and placement,
easy. I love when you do get them like right next to each other and you can just put one mine. The tricky thing is you gotta be careful to actually click onto the gold, otherwise I don't know if I've ever done this where you just build the mine and you kind of forget about it, because normally vills just go straight to the resource after we're building the production building. But if you ever go for the value mine, I've done that once where I forgot to actually shift click the gold and they went to the stone instead, and I was like, what? But it's like first world problems, it feels like, when you've got a value mine like that.
Imperial Academy coming up behind this, 2 villagers working on it. So that is going to be coming in a little bit later, I feel like, than usual. Most often we see it getting rushed up by a couple more villagers, but will still be a decent time, of course. China does build that landmark up quite quickly.
Well, an interesting thing with the Coca Township here, there's no stealth forest to be seen on this map at all. So the places where the shinobi can pop out are pretty much, not pretty much, they just are restricted only to the buildings that kiljardi controls. Maybe that wall idea you had, putting one little wall somewhere could be really useful for them.
Yeah, genuinely, that's something you can go for. Yatai has been found out, but only by a scout. kiljardi, in theory, doesn't have to respect that. It's gonna take 370 hits for that Yatai to go down.
What's the attack speed? How long would that take? What's his attack speed?
Yeah, attack speed of, I think it is 2. Yeah, 2 attack speed, so 1 damage every single hit.
What does that mean as far as time? So what does that mean as far as like how often he attacks it? Once every 2 seconds?
12 minutes. 12
minutes is what we're saying? Wow. 12 minutes to get that down.
Wait, no, I'm wrong.
That feels like it'd be a long time.
It's 6 minutes. For some reason, I thought that it was. Yeah, I was like, wait, that's
still pretty long.
But only 1 makes it through. Yeah, it's still quite a bit of time. 6 minutes.
He's respecting it though. He doesn't need to, but he's respecting it.
For some reason,
does it count the sheep?
Oh, suddenly he's like, wait. Sheep? It does. I think it does.
Oh, that's fine.
Can we quit? Okay, it's too far out now.
Too late now. I'm pretty sure it does.
Quickly select it. Quickly select it. It does. Yeah, yeah. There's a sheep.
It does. There. That's awesome. I love that interaction, actually.
That's hilarious.
Little does that scout know, he's actually helping the food cart. You know, it's things like that about this game that I just absolutely love. I love the little interactions like that.
Can we select the attack again? Was it 370 or 720 health? It was 370 health, right? Yeah, 370.
370, yeah.
Yeah. Because someone in chat did just put up 720 again. I was like, wait, that was my addition. That was where it went wrong. For some reason, I took 720 as the number to count. That's 370.
Double stables coming up here for kiljardi. I think the idea is very clear. This is, I feel like this is very standard for Sengoku Daimyo. Cavalry is the name of the game in the meta. Sengoku does that as well as anyone else. And the question for me is, will we see some Yumi Ashigaru come into play later, or will he go into something different, or is it going to be strictly cavalry for now? We do see the barracks coming up as well for Elyona, so he knows the name of the game.
Chat asking why the village difference. China, they do get Imperial officials from the Imperial Academy, so you don't have to idle your TC, meaning you do get additional economy from that. So it should be like a 4-villager lead with all the Imperial officials out.
Value mine, there it is, there it is! I'm very satisfied to see that.
What's he doing with that number of stone?
Is he just using it to help boost up his,
Daimyo, yeah.
So doing that to get the boost for the Daimyo estate. And it's going to be the Takeda, I think is how you say that? Gonna get the extra movement speed for horsey boys. Can we see that again? I want to make sure I can pronounce if I can see it. I just need to see it. Very phonetic Japanese. Takeda is the name. Villager, that's going to be a dead villager, maybe?
Getting taken down, yeah. Yeah, a little bit of additional extra HP that's coming in on the Yari cavalry, helping them out a ton there. It means that they are able to tank in a couple of additional hits. And yet again,
he's going to get another vill. I think it's another one down. If he can just get on there, one more hit. Gets it, another villager down. Maybe, ooh, he was threatening a third.
kiljardi's so aggressive.
Good early aggression here. I think it's a good trade for kiljardi here. I think you give up a couple of the Yadi cavalry for a couple of vills. It was good this early in the game.
Yeah, he's just buying himself so much time, and look at the resources banked up behind this.
Yeah, he's looking like castle ages in his future.
Yeah.
He's got 3 food carts out as well. Yeah, I mean, I think Sengoku is a little underrated right now. I don't think people realize just how good this civ is.
They've been looking really good in tournament so far, I can tell you that.
People think it's slow economically, but I've never seen that. I feel like the food carts pay for themselves so quickly that you really can get away with kind of booming your economy. It's maybe not quite as immediate as, say, like the cistern bonuses are, but the fact that you're getting the increase in bonus with the Matsuri over time, but the food carts are giving you food throughout that process. So I really do feel like it ramps up very nicely.
Yeah, behind this, more spearmen coming in for him. Some walls actually getting put up by kiljardi already. Daimyo also being made now. Still hasn't been able yet, though, to really start, you know, gathering up the gold. There's just the Yari cavalry always being there and being annoying.
You know you're doing something right when you're being annoying in this game.
Age up coming in now behind this for kiljardi. Saka Brewery, no surprises there.
Where's he putting that? I want to see a nice placement. I love that placement. That should be perfectly where it wants to be. That house is in a bit of an awkward spot right there. You'd like to have that a little away from the Matsuri, but even still, nice placement.
This age up might be coming as a little bit of a surprise to Elyona once it does come in.
He never did go for professional scouts either. He actually moved. I think he moved, or did he?
Oh, he did.
He did. Okay, he did. That's right. That's right. It looked like for a moment the mini-map was. Yeah, he's got the scouts. Okay. It looked like for a moment they were just kind of all those units, the military mass. I thought he would moved out onto the deer for a second, but that was just his military.
Scout needs to be careful. Drops the deer just for a second.
Yeah, kiljardi doing a good job of just being menacing, kind of forcing Elyona in the back. And again, the nice thing is that Elyona has food for a while, and so he doesn't mind sitting in his base for the time being. The problem is going to be, this is King of the Hill, and eventually being in your base isn't going to be enough. Being on the hill is what's going to matter. However, Elyona is matching the timing very quickly here in 10 seconds with an Imperial Palace, so he will match the castle timing and be able to contest whatever kiljardi wants to do.
There it is. Age up comes in at the same time from both players.
Is that last rice paddy in range of the Matsuri up in the corner there?
It is. Yeah,
it is. Okay,
it's
okay.
a pretty big range. Pretty big range.
Yeah, it's a pretty good. Yeah, it really is a large range that the Matsuri provides you. In an ideal world, you want to give a lot of space around that to have lots of farms later on. But
Yeah,
the range
and also
again,
just
is so
takes
good.
a long. It takes a long time to fill them up, so you kind of need to make it a pretty long range. Yet is still gathering up behind this, but Elyona now with some horsemen as well. Lance is coming up behind this, so we'll be forcing them back off from the outer boars there. Now Outpost coming up in the middle.
Yeah, it's time to
So
start.
kiljardi
planning
wants
your
to
stake.
make sure to get his claim in.
The only thing
that
he can
spot.
do is put those outposts, though. He doesn't get keeps in Castle Age, unfortunately for him. Ooh, that's gonna go down. That's. Oh no, maybe no, it will.
We'll go down.
That's unfortunate. It was close to getting another trader out too, so quite a bit of value lost there. But it's already provided quite a bit of food at least.
Very good amount there for sure. That could have come in. But he's already gotten 4 of the traders in on the attack, so that's already 20% bonus gather rate
Feeling pretty
around
good.
this area. Yeah.
I think that's
Fortunately, the woodline there isn't getting buffed up. I'm not sure. I think the villagers are actually dipping into the buff every time they do drop off.
Does that count? Does that work for that, or is it?
I think it lasts a little bit. I'm not sure for how long.
It lasts for 15 seconds.
15
Cal
seconds.
says
Okay,
on
so
our
it should be
barriers.
long enough for a drop off then.
That's kind of just extra value, man. That Matsuri's range really is helping then. At this point, kind of a slowdown in the game.
Messing
Both
up in the
players
middle.
moving around. kiljardi, though, is posturing on this sacred site. I imagine he'd like to claim it
Yeah.
at some point, get the timer started, just to put some pressure on Elyona.
Spearmen at this point mostly just good against the cavalry, but the Yumi archers are already in and they can kite the spearmen for quite a long time. Elyona does have some cavalry on his own, but not quite as much as what kiljardi has out there at the
And he's getting
moment.
his upgrades too. Does he have only the one daimyo estate, or does he have another one by chance? You know he's got the cavalry one because of the
I think
upgrades
it's only
coming in.
one. We only have one daimyo.
Okay.
Actually, we don't even have a single daimyo. No, there is
You
one.
don't?
There's
I'll
one.
say we're
Just
pretty
doesn't
sure.
show up. Yeah, there's
there
one
it
right
is.
there, the daimyo. Just doesn't show up on the UI.
I'm curious when and if kiljardi will go for the Oda estate as well and get the Yumi Ashigaru up to snuff. Right now, they're obviously not as strong as they could be, but he does have the extra health now for this horseman.
Getting some Yumi archers and some Ashigaru hand cannoneers in behind this now as well.
I like the addition of the hand cannoneers, actually. Kind of a fun addition to make sure that any heavy units don't get freebies on them. You don't need a ton, just a couple to kind of help mow stuff down. Mounted samurai. They're just kind of looking for somewhere to poke and prod. At this point, Elyona is kind of walled up. Both players have kind of mirrored-looking bases where they're kind of walling off the wings, not letting anything else in except through the front door. Wololo. Ooh, that's
Wololo
dangerous.
coming in.
Taking a front door, in they go.
Worst.
Oh! Almost
The
turned at the
Yumis,
wrong time.
that is not a fight that Yumis can take, but Elyona decides not to take the fight. Doesn't have any blacksmith upgrades, neither does kiljardi though. This could have been an engagement that he could have taken. Instead goes for the couple of hand cannoneers that are out there. We'll be able to pick them off.
Hunters are
Oh, there's some
going down.
shinobi.
Slow him down, boys.
Slow comes in.
You can see the effect really dramatically on cavalry units.
Yeah. Moving quite slowly. He's gonna lose one of the knights.
Maybe a second and third one too at this rate.
Second one.
There's number 3 on the menu as well. Looks like it. One more, 2 more
Going
hits.
down. Yeah, he does have the... kiljardi has the upgrade on the movement speed.
Oh, he's got like no
for
HP.
his
There
own
he goes.
cavalry.
And more to boot with the bad pathing.
Oh, that is pretty bad. Elyona just lost the majority of his lancers. Has some spearmen and some crossbows. A lot of wood in his economy as well. Could be going for just mass farms now. But
I mean, we mentioned the hard part for China is that farm transition. He doesn't actually have the granaries though. He's not.
Yeah, no Song.
He's still in Tang Dynasty. He's not in Song Dynasty. Honestly, if he could get a Barbican on the middle of the map, that would help actually. But he has no way to do that with Kiljardi's posturing on top.
Yeah. I want to say that there isn't really a way for him to
not really, no.
Have an in there.
He definitely has moved that wood into farms. It feels bad though. Just a regular fight. I hate to see it
there
from
on
China.
the other sides. It doesn't feel good. It definitely doesn't feel good. But he does have the. Like, he could at least supervise 2 of the farm clusters there with IOs. That would like make it at least a little bit better.
You just don't have that many IOs to spare though, you know?
In the middle now.
That's why it's not ideal.
I'd also need some Nest of Bees, some siege there up against the ranged army mass from Kiljardi.
Yeah, those Yumi Ashigaru.
This many Yumi archers.
A little bit scary. I think he still only has. I think Kiljardi still only has 1 daimyo estate. He's got 1 in the queue, it looks like. Palisade walls being repaired and held up by the villagers of Elyona, able to push cavalry back. Eco numbers are pretty dead even, 58 to 55. The military numbers and the positioning is where Kiljardi really has an edge.
The income isn't quite as even. Kiljardi has a pretty good, relics, but not just that, just like base gold, even without the relics, is very much in his favor. I always can't quite make up for that, but Elyona's food income is looking up and up with these couple of farm clusters now. The question is the military good enough? Right now, there's nothing that Elyona has up against the Yumi archers. He desperately needs, like, 4 Nest of Bees, I want to say. Yeah.
We're getting the upgrade to the Yumi Ashigaru right now, so the next estate has been built. We can see that upgrade coming in. Goku just, I mean, this is the nice thing is Kiljardi has the positioning here, and he's got that tower. He's got the Shinobi now. That's why you build the tower. The Shinobi now can pop right up here and really swing the battle. And this is not a fight Elyona wants to take right now at all. He's forced into it though.
There it is. Fight's getting taken. Spearman trying to fight the time here. One daimyo does get taken down. Second daimyo about to get taken down.
Shinobi swinging this in favor dramatically, and the Yumi Ashigaru with the Tanegashima gunners behind. There's just no front line that can handle this.
Samurai still get taken down. Outposts here just not going to be enough. There's no front line at the moment. Elyona, he needs like mass horsemen up against this now. But his entire base is going to be under pressure behind this. Crossbows trying to kite. Lances every now and then, buys himself a little bit of time, but it's like 50 to 20 military. Kiljardi, typically so aggressive, is not going for the finishing blow though.
He really could. I mean, he's got mounted samurai. What's stopping him from? I mean, I guess there's 17 crossbows. That might be what's stopping him right now, but at this point, you can kind of systematically just kind of inch your way in. You've got the sacred site, the timer clicking, 8 minutes, which isn't really a win condition yet, but at this position, he's got 55 to 25 military. And he's in a really good spot.
Yes, has a sacred site, of course. Second daimyo is in for him.
I'd like to see him put a couple more towers around it, though. I mean, not that he needs to make this his win condition, but if you're going to be here, wall in Rome, you know, one on top of the hill, might as well fortify it.
Seeing mass horsemen now coming in for Elyona, but there's still the difficulty with the mounted samurai. Granted, though, he was able to keep his crossbow mass alive, and there are some raids coming in. This is the important thing. You're hunkering down in the middle, but the sides might still get exposed. Kiljardi, he's got some villagers out there on the berries. He's going to have to evacuate them. Only 3 villagers there, though, so not the biggest raiding opportunity there. Ooh, but the mounted samurai on the way back.
Yeah, this is the thing. You expand too far, and then you get caught out. Nice pick up there. Nice reaction. through the 3 for no vills, maybe just a little idle time. Doesn't feel quite worth it when you're on the back foot. Here come the vills, looking to build a siege.
Coming in with the siege workshop in the middle, yeah.
I think from there they start just fortifying, get onto the gold, claim the resources that are there. It's worth it.
Those spearmen also in the army mix. Horsemen do get revealed. So kiljardi will know about this, but it's almost 30 Ashigaru
and the horsemen
now.
What are the horsemen going to do except fight the samurai? And those spearmen aren't going to be long for this world. There's a nice tower with a springled emplacement.
Yeah,
I don't love it.
Like mass nest of bees now. There's just no other way around it.
Manganel in the queue here for kiljardi. He's going to have an answer for the crossbows. Horsemen trying to get on, but there's just, I think there's just too much DPS here. And Shinobi
mounted samurai is just keeping them off. Yeah, just too much DPS that's coming in.
Yumi Ashigaru, when buffed up with Sengoku Daimyo, are no laughing matter. And that's going to be it. King of the Hill goes to kiljardi, but will he take the series? He's at least, up 2 games, so game point for him. Elyona on the back foot. Yeah.
On the back foot, indeed. 1 game between kiljardi and a clean victory here. Elyona losing with 2 relatively strong civilizations, Shushi's Legacy and the Chinese, but honestly, I don't even think like they're that strong at the moment, at this point in the meta. I think most players have kind of figured out that there are civilizations when you just have stronger knights that can like just deal with the mass lancer, like pro scout timing. Sure, like Shushi's Legacy and China, they've got very good economies. Actually, these are the wrong stats. These are stats from last game.
Yeah, this is not the same. Cow, blame cow! Exclamation point blame.
Yeah, exclamation point blame.
There we go. Thank you, cow. You can really see from the 15-minute mark on. You could really just see like
able to keep up with the Chinese economy with ease there.
Well, it's tricky because he didn't have Song Dynasty. He was on 1 TC. He had to make that farm transition without being on granaries. It's tough because you get the boost from the pro scouts, but on the flip side, Sengoku's got all the food carts. That kind of makes up for it in the short game. And then once you get into Castle Age, I mean, the composition was just better for kiljardi, and that's just kind of the front and back of it.
There we go. Next draft is in. Next game's going to be on Dry Arabia, and we're going to be seeing Mongols versus Malians. And that is a matchup that, the Mongols, they don't mind that at all. Mud huts, very cheaply built, but every single one of them still would provide the bounty.
Yep, doesn't matter how expensive, it doesn't matter if it's a shack or if it's a castle, they give the same amount of gold either way. Mongols happy to take that. Of course, the mud huts go down a lot easier than the castles do, so Mongols happy to see that. It's a good matchup there. kiljardi not wanting to go against the Ayyubids for, I think, pretty good reason. And likewise, Elyona with a tough choice. Do you want to go against Lancaster or Mongols? That's kind of almost feels like a lose-lose, but it's not opting to face the Mongols instead of House Lancaster.
Indeed. All right. So 2 minutes between us and the potential match point here of this series. kiljardi up 2 points at the moment up against Elyona. Malians are very, very strong civilization in the current meta. However, up against the Mongols can be kind of tough. I think this is going to very much come down to the spawn here that Elyona is going to get. I feel like the meta's kind of been figured out when it comes to how to defend against the next to the pit mine, exactly. And you want to put it up in a way though that your opponent can't just like make their own outpost and block out the gathering that way as well. So you have to be kind of smart with where you actually want to place that outpost. Might need to put it outside of your own TC range, then just put up a mill next to it so you're able to gather up from a sheep next to it. This is still going to be like probably very, very messy game, I want to say, like in the early part of it.
Yeah. I'm actually really high on Malians as a civ just in general. I think it's one of the better civs in the game. I've seen it constantly, like against like civs like Zushi in China. I constantly feel like Malians comes out on top. This is, again, kind of like kind of like an Achilles heel matchup a little bit. Not that it's like super duper favored for Mongols, but like it's still kind of a coin flip as to who's going to win this game. And a lot of it, like you mentioned, comes down to the spawn for Malians, but it's definitely not as straightforward as, say, Malians into Zushi, Malians into China, Malians into some of these other civs. Mongols and their aggression. I think you're right. The tower on the pit mine's kind of the way to go. Depends on the spawn as we dive into match point for kiljardi. We'll see if Elyona can pull a win out of this one and keep this series going.
All right, and we're jumping right on in now. Game number 3. Pit mines are coming up at the front side here. Actually, no, that's the back side for Elyona, so he's getting a pretty good spawn in there.
That's nice for the first pit mine. Put a tower on that left side if he wants to. He's kind of got a gap between those houses. Come on, taking a look. Bet we'll see that bird pop out here in a second.
Tells him everything he needs to know. The gold is in the back. Ready to drop that barracks either way, though.
Sure enough, barracks does drop down. We'll see some spears here in just a second.
So just going around the base at the moment. Still wants to find a couple more sheep there.
Those brown sheep do a really good job of hiding in those stealth forests. Hard to see.
Yeah, like brown and brown. It's
hard to notice. I feel like they added the colored sheep to help it be easier to see some of the sheep in the snow, and I feel like the reverse now is true too with the brown sheep in the stealth forests.
Yeah, you can't win with sheep, man.
I always win with sheep. I don't know what you're talking about. I get what you mean, though, especially on this map.
Yeah.
Dry Arabia, notoriously difficult for me to find sheep on. That outpost, it's a little conservative with that. I feel like he might have been better off putting it on the left side there. I would have loved to see
it on the other side. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's where I personally would have put it, just because it also means that kiljardi can't just come in and get his own outpost up there and deny the gold at the end of the day. And kiljardi is going for an outpost rush. Yeah.
Yeah, where that outpost is, I would have put like the mining camp and put the I would have considered a mining camp eventually, or I would have put that where that farthest left house is, right there on the southwest.
Exactly.
That would have been the spot.
I agree. Yeah. That would have for sure been the better spot to put it, because now kiljardi, he is sending the villager out. You can always tell from observing if a Mongol player is going for an outpost rush or not. 2 villagers on wood means they're just going to be making spearmen, and 3 villagers on wood means they are planning to send a villager for an outpost rush.
Which, if you at home are scouting against Mongols and you see that, you can conclude the same thing. A good sheep haul here, though, from Elyona. The first cow coming out already.
And we're seeing a double-produced second batch of the spearmen. Spearmen are also going to see where that outpost is. The outpost at the moment is placed not in a too threatening way.
Yeah, it'd be better if it could be moved.
You know,
up,
if you want to be really disgusting, yeah, if you want to be really disgusting, you put the outpost right next to the berries, and then you wait for the Malians to produce a single cow, and then you just snipe the cow with the outpost arrows.
Would that do enough damage to the cow?
Yes.
Oh man, that would be disgusting. That'd be vile. You should do it. That'd be great. Oh goodness. A lot of wood being gathered, of course. Got the Mansa Quarry coming up. Deer stones, of course, no surprise there from kiljardi. Yeah, we haven't seen silver. The silver
it's
tree
a good follow-up timing from Deerstone.
Huh?
I mean, at the end of the day, what is the silver tree? It's a glorified market.
Glorified market, yeah. It's just not enough.
Yeah.
I mean, if the opponent lets you get away with it, it's plenty, but...
Yeah. I mean, you can just make your own market afterwards, right? Like, you pay a little bit more for the traders, but... Honestly, it's just so worthwhile having that additional bit of movement speed on the villagers as well, because it's basically like an additional tier of wheelbarrow. Getting villagers to almost 1.5 tiles of second per movement, of movement speed. It is an absurd amount of value that you gain from that, to the point where your villagers with formation shuffling, they can easily outrun horsemen or just any type of infantry if it comes for a raid, and yeah, it just allows you to react to raids much more dynamically. If you see, like, typically when you see, okay, my opponent's coming in with a lot of military, he's going to just dive the outpost. Mongols are able to just run away in time, even if they react a little bit late.
Yeah, it's definitely, and to be honest with you, I don't miss the Silver Tree days. I always thought it was always annoying to have to worry about it. I'm glad that we don't live in a trade meta currently. Maybe some people tire of the cavalry aggressive meta, but I find it a little more engaging at least. As we see some spears, playing some cat and mouse here on the pit mine.
I mean, the house is now less than half HP. Eventually, the arrows are going to put it on fire.
It wouldn't take a lot to repair it, but like we were saying before, the mud houses go down pretty easily. And they all pay the same.
Oh, actually sees the villager out on the second pit mine. Might pull some spearmen over there, but there is already an archery range coming up for Elyona. Mud hut has been put on fire, so did manage to get the resources in. Hasn't pulled the spearmen out yet in order to deal with the pit mine. He just saw it coming in.
He could easily tower this one as well.
Yeah, spearmen not running forward. So yeah. No.
It's a bit of an unfortunate spawn.
On a delay. Another counter. Running back inside the outpost.
Kind of an unfortunate spawn for Elyona. That second gold just really right smack dab in the middle. And looking around, there really is no
mad though with that first gold all the way in the back.
Fair.
He's got another gold like all the way to the right hand side. It's not bad gold spawns.
Not terrible. That's true.
You can't blame the spawn here for him for sure.
No. But there's that human nature where you're still going to complain about it. You're still gonna be like, man, well, that one's really far ahead. But yeah, when you got one right in the back.
He's using the Manzacori at the moment for stone, which is actually getting some placements in that way. Or at least he did use it for a little bit. Actually, did he?
Yep, he did.
Can we check his stone outcropping? Whether it was the Manzacori or whether it was... Yeah, okay, it was Manzacori. Okay.
Yeah. It's a nice use, too. It's something a lot of players can forget about, that can toggle back and forth. That's a good use of it. The cow pops out. You can hear him mooing. Pretty sure Elyona is still just eating them. Oh, no, he's actually planning out the cow boom. It has begun.
Yeah. Definitely something that you need to do. Just getting those first 3 initial cattle in, it sets your economy up. Like, even if you don't go for the fast castle boom type play, just having those 3 cattle in provides you with a lot of passive economy. Very important.
Yeah. Second cow now is out as well, so he is going to start pumping those through. And like you said, getting the first 3, there's number 3 right there. Very important. Well, in the cow boom, again, it's kind of like you're on a timer against Malians, right? You're on a timer. The cow boom, as it ramps up, you've got to get enough damage and slow it down enough. Otherwise, once it gets fully realized, it's like a Death Star of sorts. Once it gets fully operational, you're kind of just hosed. You got to find a way to destroy it. I was already trying to take this pit mine down.
Almost getting set on fire. Yeah. Spearmen are there to defend now, though, but just 2 spearmen up against 4 Keshiks, potentially. Kiljardi not taking the fight yet, though.
He's been methodical this far. A blacksmith coming up. Another cow. You can just hear it just churning in the background. And time is all that Elyona can hope for right now. He just wants time. Let the cow boom get going. The more time he has, the better situation he'll be in. Feels already massing up, being methodical, and needs to make sure he gets something done eventually. This forward pit mine really is just kind of a sitting duck. He could go and press that right now. His military is kind of hanging back, though. Second house about to catch fire.
A little bit of idle time there on the villagers. Kiljardi just ran out of sheep inside of his base. He's going to need to transition over to the berries or the deer. Has he noticed yet? Yeah, he does. Okay, he is going to be going over to the second deer spot. Both deer spots in the back of his base. Can't really ask for a better deer spawn there if you're Kiljardi. And the gold also in the back.
Doesn't get much better than that. Both these players getting some pretty favorable spawns for themselves here. Yeah, Kiljardi's really sitting back with his military. I really kind of would like to see him pushing the issue a little bit. Like, you're just kind of wasting time with idle military. Every second you give,
looks like Elyona wants to take down the outpost now. Yeah, it's only 2 units inside of the outpost, so not a lot of arrow fire coming in. Means so that he might be forfeiting the pit mine on, in the front of his base.
I think you take that trade if you're kiljardi. That's reasonable.
Yeah. If you're Elyona as well, probably just because you want to start gathering up gold actively.
Yeah.
And it's just the pit mine, and he's got enough gold to just replace it, so it's gonna be fine for Elyona. I think, yeah, he's also happy with that trade. kiljardi probably not as happy. I think the outpost, he would have probably loved to have it still up there, as it also provides him with the Yam Aura, but he is just putting the Deer Stones in the front now as well, so we'll still be getting that active Yam Aura on his units, and will also block out a house spot from the pit mine.
It's a kind of a fun interaction right there. So yeah, you want some real estate? No, this is not zoned for housing. This is zoned for memorials and landmarks.
Could have placed it even more annoyingly for that.
You really could have, yeah. Pretty good
Even if
sized
it gets
mass
destroyed,
from...
it's gonna block the output. The
yeah, I would
houses.
stay right there and block it. The frustrating thing with Malians is that you destroy a pit mine and it's just like, oh, there it is again. It's already almost back. Just in time. Got it up at the perfect time, and all that health sitting right there again.
Oh, Keshik getting sniped out. Archers and javelin throwers fighting off against the archers. So far, also front line. There's more sofas coming in. Pretty good army count at the moment from Elyona. Up against what kiljardi has. And kiljardi's just taking the fight up against a mass of Donzos there. Shouldn't be working out too well. Indeed, it does not work out too well for him. He has to fall back now. Lost all of the Keshiks to the front side. Elyona looking in control now. He's got 6 cattle in. He's got a good amount of passive economy behind this. Already at 900 food per minute. kiljardi at half that.
Yeah, this is one of those moments where it felt like kiljardi was treating the Deer Stones like a Kurlitai, and it just isn't. Like, it's good, but it's not a Kurlitai. You can't, it won't enable you to stand and fight some of those bad fights like that and then take a win. Instead, he loses his cavalry and now is back to the drawing board. And again, Malians just want time. The more time, the better. And you can see the cow is starting to flood. He's got 6 in the pen. He's eating the other cows, so he is kind of backed up. He does have some berries in the back he could go to if he really wanted. But Elyona just keeping the military presence alive, letting the resources just kind of churn and slowly adding the cattle in. A tri-comp from Elyona. He's added some javelin throwers as well, which will do really good into the archers of kiljardi. You got that. You get the archers. You got some cavalry. Not to mention the spearmen, the Donzos for Elyona. His composition looks really good, and it's making things really difficult for kiljardi because how do you outdo that composition? Like, it's hard to as Mongols, especially when you're down the numbers.
Yeah, do need Keshiks, do need some spearmen in as well. It's always nice when you have spearmen up against the Malians, just because, like javelin throwers, they do take a good while to take them down as well. And they do work well up against the sofas as well at the front line. Charlie's not adding many more of them, but just having a couple in does help. But ooh, villagers here on the deer need to be very careful. Good movement is going to keep them alive.
A nice wrapping around the
more deer. Some spearmen here already ready to defend the... Yeah.
He's wrapping around the back of the base at the same time. Both opponents doing the same thing to each other, wrapping around the base. The question is, does Elyona understand and know? He's going to know in a second here that there are Keshik in the back of his base right now. In they come, right on top of the houses too. Good raid.
Yeah. I think he lost one on the house as well. Yeah, 2 villagers going to go down there. So decent pick off, but it doesn't matter when you kill like Malian villagers. You could kill like 10 to 15 and they might still be alive in the game.
That's kind of the sweet spot now. Once you get beyond 15 vills killed, at this point in the game, it starts really mattering for Malians. But yeah, like you kill 8 or 7, like, it's kind of a rounding error with the cow boom. Back onto the pit mine again. I'm gonna get some houses and some gold for it. Let's mention the free healing for the Keshiks.
And it's getting ready to respond to this. Equal army mass. Almost even army value as well. Pretty much neck and neck there. But when it's even, I feel like it's probably more beneficial for the Malians. It's just 8 javelin throwers, but they're enough to one-shot the archers, and 8 archers are not going to be enough to one-shot a javelin thrower. Much as for sure.
Not at all. And again, Deer Stones is not a Kurlitai, so there's not a huge advantage here for kiljardi by fighting right in this spot. little bit back and forth. They're kind of postulating. Both, you can kind of see the gears working in both these players' heads. They're both kind of debating, can they take this fight? Right now, it's Elyona who blinks and backs off for the time being, giving kiljardi some time to get the pit mine. That's going to force the hand for Elyona to come in and take the fight. He doesn't. You can tell he doesn't really want to. He just wants to push him back. Both players kind of easing themselves into this. Posturing continues, and in comes the dive. They decide to fight.
Throws focusing on the archers. Fight's getting taken on the front line. Javelin throws. Just continuously picking off. Sofa's taking the fight up against the Keshiks. 18 Keshiks has the army lead in that regard. Archers actively firing off against the Donzos. But is this going to be a fight that's good for kiljardi or not? Eco value, rather the army value is still neck and neck, but it's starting to look better and better for Elyona behind this, and he's going to be able to take the victory in that fight. And the question is, can kiljardi remass this? He does not have the passive economy that Elyona does.
You nailed it with the javelin throwers. That was the difference in the game right there. Being able to one-shot the archers, really just decimating, and more than decimating, just completely destroying the back line of kiljardi. And once they went down, the front line's kind of evening out. It just collapses. Really good fight for Elyona.
Coming from kiljardi is still not looking that bad. Has 10 Keshiks still out on the field. Needs to completely remass the archers though. Aristote's coming in as well. And kiljardi does anticipate the move out onto his board play at the moment. That's a lot of very low health Keshiks though, going down immediately. Some low HP Sofas though, but most of them are going to be able to make it out alive. Khan is focusing down one of them. Deerstone slowly but surely is getting focused down.
kiljardi's about to click up the castle age, and there it is. Step readout.
Yeah.
Not even going for the Kurlatai.
Question is the timing, if it's going to be good enough here for him with that step readout. Doesn't have a standing army. Elyona has twice the army count. And, I mean, the cattle, he's going to age up in just a little bit as well. He did, unfortunately, eat a little bit too close at home, so is going to, for second place, the Farimba cancels that, yeah.
Does that count for the? Does that count actually if it doesn't cross the middle point of the final pasture down there in that right corner?
Does not.
Does not.
He's gonna need to maybe replace it a little bit.
Regardless, though, I don't think this is looking great for our guy kiljardi with the Mongols. Malians with the cow boom and Sofa. Once they get imported armor, especially, they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with, and he's already winning fights here in feudal.
Upgrade on the Keshiks is going to be coming in behind this, but for the time being, kiljardi's hurting here. Only 3 villager kills is just not enough, and here we can see the Deerstones in its position just blocking out a lot of the housing spots there.
The ugliest pit mine you'll ever see. Ugliest pit mine you'll ever see right there as Castle Age clicks up. Man. Step readout in a pretty good spot there with the gold churning for kiljardi, but isn't going to be
still
enough.
dropping off on the Durer. Yeah. Now Sofa about to get upgraded to veterancy as well. Keshiks have been upgraded, and actually kiljardi grabbing in the special Keshik upgrade there as well. Unique Keshik upgrade gets a little bit more attack speed in and also increases the healing received on the Keshiks for every single hit. Interrupts a little bit here on the pit mine. Spearman trying to torch that one down, or at least get it to burn. Massive army though from Elyona. kiljardi using that time though, and he is going to find a raid, I think, on the back wood line there. But
there's a lot of exposed
hello,
and no one there to do a quick
early
wall.
arrow fire from the Khan.
And he trap a couple here on the wood line. They're kind of squeezing through.
Trying.
He might get a couple here. Looks like it.
On blank charge.
We were saying though that he needs to get like 15 to 20 down to really make a huge dent. 10 go down now. He needs to do a little more damage to really make it sting.
Elyona is just pushing forward.
10 vill kills won't be enough to slow down Elyona, but if he can get some more, 11 now.
It's a base trade at this point though.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is you can't afford to trade the bases. You need to be the one just taking.
Oh, but that is actually pretty big. That is pretty big on the villager kill department.
17, starting to get close. 19, 20. You've lost 5 of your own. You can get a couple more vill kills. Like we said, kind of a full base trade now. Things getting kind of frantic on both sides of the map. Vill's just dying in front of their town center.
No potted armor in yet. No +2 pierce armor. So the Sofas actually will still take a lot of damage here.
20 to 10 Vil kills.
Javelin throwers won't though.
Kind of still feeling like it's in the middle. A good hit here from kiljardi, but he still has stuff in his base. Doesn't feel. I don't know if it's gonna be enough against the cow boom still. Getting some more.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's enough.
It's a step in the right direction. If only you weren't trading your base to do it. 25. I mean, again, like on its own, 25 would be enough.
Falling back. Yeah.
Kashik's taking a good fight here, dealing some good job against the sofa. Meanwhile, back at home for kiljardi, looks like things have cleaned up since. 25 to 11. Again, like you're up 15-ish Vils. That's kind of the demarcation line of worth it or not.
It's still the cow economy.
Yeah, the cow economy kind of overcomes 15 Vils, I think. I think you really need to get into the 20, 25 range at this point.
Probably even more than that. Mainly because the free income is on food, and food typically needs an investment long term in the pasture department. So I have to count that on as well.
Sofas should be able to clean this up easily.
The engagement.
Ooh, nice micro there from Elyona, pulling the weak one away. Getting some extra value there.
Raid again coming in. Crossbows in position this time around though. Kiljardi needs gold right now. Has a stepper out to make up for it, but needs to get another drop off in. Springle in placement will also help him out. Still in the boar.
I feel like the cow booms are going to carry here still. I don't think that there's just not enough damage. It's been pretty scrappy on both sides now.
800 food per minute at the moment without any villagers on food.
Yeah. For reference, look at kiljardi's. He's at 1,000, but he's got 31 of those. In fact, it's dipping by the second, too.
Ooh, looks like the warplay has been found out. That's one weak Keshik, but he's trying, man. He actually got a kill in.
Yeah, got a kill.
And he's distracting two of the sofas, yeah.
Good job, Keshik. You died for something, at least. This is the tricky thing with Malians, is you reach this point in the game where you feel like you've been duking it back and forth like a heavyweight. And then Malians just like juicing behind all this. I mean, like you just cannot like keep up. Like they are just going to outpace you no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And the imported armor sofa are just so strong. Yeah, they don't really hold 1-to-1 against Keshiks anymore.
And almost Safari warriors coming in for Elyona. They're going to deal well with the Keshiks, and if you get a big mass of them, can be fine against crossbows as well, because they move a lot faster than normal spearmen, for example, so they can actually get a surround in on them.
Yeah, look, these Keshiks just they don't hold a candle to imported armor against sofa. They just not in these numbers.
Yeah. I get the bounty in though. Main army from Elyona is waiting at that. Oh, able to
I don't know if
the
Cow's got the economy counter ready to go behind this, but I'd love to see that compared with the cow boom and to see that. Yeah, there we go. That kind of tells the story right there. Some good damage has been done. You can see the raids were close to being good enough, but you can see that dotted yellow line kind of estimating what the cow boom adds, leaving Elyona still ahead of the fight here. And militarily, mostly even on numbers. Looks like the army value is in favor, though, of the Malians.
Yeah, Crossbow's getting sniped over here. Fight happening in the base. Keshik's trying. There's double springled in placement. Gonna be enough to force Elyona back for the time being, but the fight was still not good for him. There's a lot of things on the right-hand side as well.
It's kind of crazy that even when we were saying at the beginning of this game that Mongols could actually maybe do something to Malians here, that even still, it kind of ends up in the same place as every other civ that plays against Malians. The cow boom just starts
This one was just really good with the back gold, right?
That's true.
There wasn't too much damage to be done there. And currently, like, eco-efficiency, Elyona's 15% behind kiljardi, but he's got 12,000 more resources collected.
Yeah. Well, and I said that too at the beginning, that the spawn can really affect things here, and Elyona got a decent spawn, and you can see that he's leveraged it really well on top of that. And now look at the number of sofa. This is starting to look like a very scary
big
mass.
Number now, 23. kiljardi, he's trying to... No, you... Okay, he's got a remake units. Like, he was... For a second, it looked like he was trying to go to Imp with how many resources he's been floating there, but that's just not going to be an option there for him.
That'd be so risky.
Imperial Age would be nice, but it's more of a dream than something that he can really achieve in this one. Or at least anytime soon.
He would need to be winning a lot more fights than this.
Yeah.
Well, if things keep on their current trajectory, we're going to be going to a game number 4. It looks like Elyona should, at this point, it's his game to lose. With 68 units to 29, it's looking very favorable.
You're getting defensive Wololo in potentially. I just heard Rally getting picked up. Nothing moving forward. Actually, there it is. Rally getting picked up. Wololo coming in. Falling back for a second. Outpost repair coming in at the same time. Small little raid from Kiljardi. Probably not going to be enough, though.
Feels like game.
Picking up some reinforcements. Soldiers, where are they getting sent to the death? There's a good hiding spot out there. Ace from Kiljardi just completely getting swamped right now. So much idle time on the villagers.
Half your economy's
outposts
hiding
will be
right
getting
now.
taken down now.
Half your economy's hiding, the half is abroad. Not looking great. And more dead. And now it's... I mean, Elyona has more Vil kills now than Kiljardi, which, if you're Mongols, that's never what you want to see.
Yeah, not at all. With the food income now completely plummeting, GG is going to come in. Elyona gets a point on the scoreboard and keeps himself alive in this set.
Got ourselves a series on our hands here. There's a chance. The reverse sweep is available. You know, you never know when you're going to get one of those, but it starts with game number 3 for the reverse sweep. Elyona takes it. He just needs 2 more to win. Kiljardi, of course, still in the match point. Just needs 1 more to move on. But this one's looking a little closer. We'll see what the matchup coming up next will be.
Yeah, setting himself up for the potential of the reverse sweep. Yeah, it still takes a lot more than that first game. It's a rocky road back up there.
It starts there. It starts there. You can't have it without the first game winning in game number 3 for the reverse sweep. But coming up next, it's going to be your favorite Macedonians versus Delhi game. Everyone just loves that matchup, right? Everyone knows exactly the intricacies of those two civs, right?
It's an interesting one. Yeah.
This is again an interesting one on front range too.
Yeah. The main issue here is that one civilization, like both civilizations, can have stronger than normal horsemen. The difference is that one has healing, the other doesn't.
Oh, look at those jabs.
Look
at that way he did this. Sorry, I know I'm going to interrupt you. But look at the jabs. Because instead of having jabs focus down one, he actually split them into 2 groups here.
Split them
and is attacking different units. That's such good efficiency given the tendency
avoiding
to
the overkill.
Really good micro from Elyona there. Sorry, I didn't notice that live, but looking at the replay, really well played.
Here we have the great village raid from Kiljardi. Almost getting himself back into this game, honestly, in a position where it was kind of destined to fail. But in the end, it's just too many units that kind of just started swarming out there from Elyona. And this is just the strength of the Malians, right? Like in the mid-game, once you got the cattle economy in and everything's going your plan, there's just very few things that can keep you from reaching that victory here. And yeah, I mean, with the relics as well being contested and Kiljardi only getting 1 in, no way to get to that fast Imperial Age, or rather that Imperial Age transition in.
Yeah.
This was a just very well played game from Elyona, the way that he executed that one. Next up, front range, Macedonians up against Delhi. I'm wondering what the main plan is going to be here. Wait,
it was kind of a fun interaction
do bonus damage to
against Varangian guards,
units,
against heavy units. So that's a kind of a fun interaction.
You can't
bonus
trickle.
damage, but is it enough? Is it enough? You can't trickle. But a head-on fight, I think the Varangians still win 1-1. But there is that kind of interaction of like, if they can caps one on the way, hit the reinforcements.
6 armor versus a total of 14 damage. Actually, 6 with blacksmith upgrades. With blacksmith upgrades, it's 15 damage. So 15 damage, 6 armor. So you do like 9 damage. That's like normal horseman damage. It's not bad, yeah. The Gazi Rares, with healing and everything, yeah.
Yeah, if you can get behind, if you can get the stragglers in small numbers, you could do some serious damage to that. It's a fun interaction. We'll have to keep an eye on to see if I expect we'll see some kind of interaction like that here on front range. Again, front range.
The thing is, you're gonna go Hippodrome. Yeah, the thing is you're still going to go Hippodrome, so you get the Hippodrome champion that increases the damage on your own horseman. So your horsemen go from 9 to 11 damage. Then you could also get like an additional blacksmith upgrade there, or just any blacksmith upgrade. That's like a great thing about the Macedonians. Like you make your horsemen really strong as well. They're getting special as well, plus 5% health with the defensive upgrade. That's probably going to be the first one you're going to be getting in anyway. So you offset the damage there as well, and suddenly the horsemen do work quite competitively. Once again, with healing in Feudal Age, you need to take decisive trades, decisive engagements. You cannot leave units alive, else they're just going to get healed back up to full. They're going to get the full health back up again. But when an eventual cast age transition comes in, Macedonian Rudari actually beat out elephants as well, so that's kind of scary. But we're jumping in now. Game number 4. Between Kiljardi here and the color red playing as the Macedonian dynasty. His opponent is none other than Elyona playing as the Delhi here on front range in the color yellow. Kiljardi opening us up here immediately on the deer. Already has the wall camp up now as well.
Off to the races here. It's
Two
Macedonians
sacred
as a civ. I'm
far
still.
away.
I feel like I'm still wrapping my mind around Macedonians as a civ and what all they can do, like in all the intricacies. Like I feel like for Sengoku, I've seen it played enough. I've got a really good kind of feel for what they can and can't do. Macedonians are interesting. I still don't feel like I have a real good pulse on the silver economy that they have. It just works so differently because it's in many ways it's so similar to what Byzantines do with the olive oil, but the silver it works with very different tempo than what I'm used to seeing in the olive oil. It's something I think myself and probably I would assume a number of other players and watchers out there are still kind of wrapping their minds on, is Macedonians a good civ? Is it not? Where does it really rank? And I'm sure, I know the pros all have their opinions already kind of laid out, and I'm sure there's plenty of tier list YouTube videos you can go watch, but for me, myself, personally, I'm watching these EGC games. I'm still kind of, the jury's out for me as to what I think of this civ.
They've got some, I think Macedonians overall, they're very, very matchup dependent on how they play. There are some matchups where we've seen, of course, the ranging guards just being absolutely broken when you mass them up. And there are some where you just straight up cannot go for them, where it's just like not possible.
I think that's probably, I think you nailed it. That's kind of why it's hard for me to gauge, is they are very matchup dependent. So it is like there are some civ in this game that are good against 90% of the matchups out there. Then there's some civs that are really, really strong in some and not so much on others. And I think you're right. Macedonian seems to kind of fit that archetype.
They kind of fall apart when they don't get access to the gold early on. Like if you're able to kind of like cheese out the gold, like if they don't get any upgrades on their units, they fall apart because their economy is not good. It's similar to Byzantines without olive oil. They just suddenly don't look strong anymore. You don't have olive oil, you don't have cisterns. Suddenly Byzantine becomes a default generic civilization without any strengths.
No surprise here from the landmark choices of either of these players. Dome of the Faith, very much in the meta. Imperial Hippodrome, very much the meta from Macedonians. You know, I feel like I comment this every time Delhi gets played and Dome of the Faith pops up, but for the longest time we had the Tower of Defeat, was what everyone called the Tower of Victory. And then there was like that brief glimmering golden age where it was actually really good and in the meta. And now once again, it's gone back to Dome of Faith again.
I mean, it's just one of those landmarks that provides you with an incredible amount of value, right? Like you're saving, what is it like at the moment, 55 resources for every single scholar that you make. And you make 2 scholars a minute, so it's 110 resource per minute that you save on resources. How many times on average are you getting like a 100 resource meditation garden? And that's kind of like not every game. So being able to get that consistently, it's just so much value in that landmark that the amount of gold that you save up as you do want to consistently be making scholars from it, it pays for itself over and over and over again. And then the healing on top of everything else, it's very good. Very good. There's a reason why it's the strongest landmark for Delhi by far.
Yeah. It's fun to see for me. Like, I really am fascinated to see how the meta shifts and how certain landmark choices and the opportunity cost of what to go for when shifts over the months and years. First, Ghazi Raider. Oh, excuse me. That's not a Ghazi Raider at all. That is a Macedonian horseman running out on the field.
Hey, Ghazi.
Yeah.
No Ghazi Raider out yet from Elyona. Stable only just now has been put up, so was a little bit late on that. Scholar moving out to jump inside. Efficient production already in. Scholar's actually just, I mean, you know,
Filling out the
healing.
villagers. It's kind of a smart play. Buy some time for that first Ghazi Raider to come out. They can out heal the damage from this. Only a scout and a horseman, not 2 horsemen.
The Drum Scout also coming in. Now we're going to be getting the first Ghazi Raider, and suddenly this is not something that kiljardi can pressure any longer. Needs to fall back now.
Good use of the Scholar
Escalate
there
quickly.
to out heal that.
Yeah, has enough silver now in order to get the first damage upgrade in, so the arsenal will be put up now by kiljardi. Products also coming in.
I've seen varying opinions as to whether or not you should pop a Scholar into the stable right away, because you often don't have enough food this early in the game to just mass produce Ghazi. So you don't always get the benefit.
It still makes a difference.
It does.
It still makes a difference on when they come out. Like it's a timing thing, right? Like getting them out in 20 seconds, getting them out in 10 seconds. It's still a pretty big difference.
There is some debate to be had, though, as to
uptime.
can you use it somewhere. Yeah, it's not 100% efficient though, given that you're having a hard time. At least
it doesn't need to be. Even at 50% efficiency, it would be worth it.
You think? Okay. I mean, I'll take that.
It's all about unit
I know
mass
that
with
there's some debate as to whether you should leave them in there and get the faster upgrade
no
times.
Debate. You should.
To get them into the faster Ghazi, especially with this composition when it is really important to get those Ghazis out.
It's being able to have map control on a unit that you can heal up over and over and over again. Highest damage horseman in the game with a little bit of additional health as well. Not at a much higher cost. Like, what do they cost? More like 20 resources. It's so worth it. It's so worth it.
I didn't realize that Macedonians had that little "your champion has arrived." That's a very
second
I don't know why I
Macedonian
find that kind of
champion is gonna be buffing up the horseman now with +2 damage. We're also seeing the blacksmith upgrades coming in for kiljardi, so we're getting some additional health and armor on them. First couple of Atgematha coming in as well.
I can't help but feel like Delhi is a slightly strange choice on this map still. Just given the sacred sites and the placement of them.
The sacred sites are odd, but there's additional berries on the map.
This is true.
And like food out on the map in general. Like this is a situation where Delhi can like make full use of its feudal age force. That's not that bad for them. And kiljardi is playing this well though. He is keeping up with the horseman count, but we mentioned it, like you need decisive engagement, so he tries to get the wrap around the Ghazi with every single engagement. He is kind of struggling to find those engagements, though. Might be able to potentially take a Ghazi here. It's grouped with the scout, so it's not moving as quickly as it should. Oh, that was so close.
Nice.
He'll come in now. They're healing everything up again.
Well, that's just getting a free Ghazi Raider back, you know? It's when you think about the math in this game, that's just free resources that in a very quick, short amount of time, too, with those scholars. I mean, look at that. Whole army back to full. You just got a bunch of free units. I mean, that's so much value when you think about it in terms of resources gained right there.
One Ghazi down, though. Gets sniped out there by the TC. Looks like Elyona is going to get that sacred side in at the top side.
That's kind of the fun thing about this.
To get there in time. Actually, second unit, where'd that one come from? Decap. Rather stops the capture. Oh wait, it got captured. So even with the decapture, it's still going to be a lot of passive gold.
It'd be hard to hold on to that if kiljardi is hell bent on taking it, but extra gold for Delhi is always a good thing to have. Right now he's got 3 on gold. He would ideally love to be able to pull off a little bit if he can eventually, or he could just keep banking the 3 on gold and eventually get up to Castle Age. His food income's looking pretty healthy at the moment as well. He will need to start moving out. Looks like he has moved out a little bit on the berries to the south because we have small engagement here. Some weak horsemen there for kiljardi as the Macedonians. And they don't have a way to heal up in Feudal Age, as far as I know. Actually, kind of good for Elyona to get this scholar back home, too. I wasn't sure if he would keep it alive, but keeping it alive is pretty good value. And yeah, +1 Vil.
Loses a Ghazi, though.
That's
A
worth
couple
it.
of archers now being made as well. Elyona is trying to go for an age up behind this. He's got 8 villagers in gold. He's trying to go for the castle age. Kiljardi's kind of fine with just sticking this one out in the feudal age. He's upgrading his spearmen now as well. And he hasn't let Elyona get any of the sacred sites, so he probably isn't expecting this to come in.
I actually like this play from Elyona. I really do. I think he needs to get a little bit more food, but I do like the play. He's getting pro scouts in right now. Is finally going to click up, so he could grab some of that, maybe that deer in the bottom corner, give himself some food for the interim here as he gets into castle age. He's going to be well set and situated up for the next age, and the timing is working out really nicely. I don't know if Kiljardi is going to have a great answer for this. And he's got his feudal mass here, but Elyona also has a reasonable feudal mass, so he's not like terrified of going up in age and not having something to defend with.
Kiljardi's getting mass of the strongholds in now. He's still not expecting this age up to come in. House of Learning now getting rushed up by 13 villagers. There's already 10 scholars out from Elyona at the moment. He doesn't need to rush out to get the relics. He can just take his time, get the castle age upgrades in. He's also having pro scouts already out on the map. Now seeing some spearmen coming in from him.
House of Learning
Behind the
has been the
Kiljardi, he's
go-to.
prepping the Varangians.
If you're going with House of Learning, what are you prioritizing when you get up? Are you going for honed blades, you think?
Honed blades.
Yeah, even against the Ghazi? Okay. I guess you're not going against because you have the Ghazi. I keep mixing these two up for some reason. I don't know why I keep doing that, but yeah, honed blades would be the idea. And with 5 scholars, that should come in pretty quickly. A good little raid though coming from Kiljardi. Horseman getting onto the Vills. Kind of a slow reaction. Drops
raid.
one. That's going to force Kiljardi back into the base. Age up is complete. So Elyona now getting those upgrades picked up. And that means Kiljardi now wants to pressure right here, right now. He knows he's on the clock a bit. Looking for a place to push. He's got actually a smaller military mass than Elyona has. I guess we're probably counting the scholars in that military count. So maybe he does have a bit of a bigger military mass. Those scouts trying to
some
get their
knights
job
coming
done.
in as well. Home Blades is on its way, but we don't have any men-at-arms yet. Lances do get the Kill Legion as well, but that's about it. Defensive Wololo coming in to defend. Villager count neck and neck at the moment between the two.
There's a couple
Some
more villagers.
crossbows in the mix as well.
This is the danger spot for Elyona. Is you're vulnerable when you go to castle like this,
That's
even
so
with
many
some
units.
military. Yeah, there's just a lot of units from Kiljardi coming in.
Elyona does have the potential to just mass heal up inside of his base, though, if he pulls the scholars for the fights. Hasn't done so yet. He's bringing one of the relics back behind this.
Yeah, he really wants to get those upgrades.
Villagers.
He really wants home blades to get going, but he doesn't have any men-at-arms yet either. He's got quite the eclectic military. Got a little bit of everything. Some archers, spears, crossbow, Ghazis, some knights. There's not much. The only thing he doesn't have actually is men-at-arms.
Yeah, he doesn't have any gold at the moment either.
Yeah, not having a
Kiljardi's just
sacred
starting to
sites.
burn stuff down. He's got the Hippotron champion as well. He's just getting a little trickle of gold from that one relic that he has at the moment, enough to continue to at least make one additional crossbowman. But Kiljardi with the horseman there as well, he's got the answer to that. Farms already dropped around the TC as well. It's just full aggression non-stop here from him.
He's
Has
also got
enough
full vision
silver
of the mountains.
has enough silver now as well to go for the +2 armor upgrade on the infantry. Yeah, and that's coming in right now as well.
He is giving Elyona some time though. Elyona having a moment to kind of collect himself. This could be big. Hone Blades about to click up right about now. So now these upgrades, as the Castle Age upgrades kind of finish up, that's going to really help because Delhi takes a while to fully get into Castle, so to speak, right? You can get up to Castle Age, but if your units aren't Castle Age upgraded, if you don't have the Castle Age upgrades in general, you're Castle Age in name only. Once those click up for Delhi though, even though they're delayed, that's when you'll see the tech swing kind of really full come in force because Kiljardi's nowhere near Castle Age. And the military numbers are still pretty close together. Tricky thing is, can Elyona hold this push?
Fight is getting taken now. Horseman just trying to distract, trying to go for the wraparound onto the range units. And they are going to get the wraparound. Ghazi Raiders trying their best. Scholars just getting sacrificed there. Not a good trade at all.
This looks
kiljardi with a pulse
catastrophic.
around, runestone coming in as well. All the movement speed on the infantry here as well with the Hippodrome champion. That is coming back now as well. Elyona's just lost the entire military mass. Didn't find inside of a choke point. And it looks like that might just be it. kiljardi pushing his advantage. All the military going down from Elyona. And kiljardi now has free reign inside of Elyona's base. Outpost getting torched down. Villagers inside will be getting slain after. And GG comes in. kiljardi with the Macedonian dynasty able to close out the set.
That was my one fear about going for Honed Blades into Castle Age, was would he be able to get enough gold to get the Men-at-Arms out? And the answer is no. I don't think he built a single Men-at-Arms. And so Honed Blades clicked in and was researched all the way, but Elyona unable to capitalize on it. kiljardi with an incredible push right at the 15-minute mark, taking the win and taking the series 3-1.
Taking the series indeed. GG's come in. And that means that kiljardi is going to be able to, you know, get a shot at potentially qualifying tomorrow for the road to Wololo. He's got one more set ahead of him there. And we can just take a quick little peek at our bracket now and just check exactly what we're going to be looking forward to tomorrow. As tomorrow we're going to be looking at all of these best-of-5 qualifying matches for the road to Red Bull Wololo Londinium, as we see Scarlet Devil actually managing to beat out MSN 3-2. He's going to be facing off against Baltoon in a best-of-5. Valdemar going to be facing off against Scatterbrain there as well. So that's going to be another one to look forward to. kiljardi, after beating out Elyona, is going to be facing off against Jiff Music. Jiff Music able to win against Core 3-2. Numedan beating Gento is going to be facing off against Myriad. Both players able to win their previous sets 3-0. So these are going to be all the sets that we'll be covering tomorrow.